when you get a new rig, there's a lot to do to get it ready to move in, or can be anyway, and in our case there is. And so we need to make a list, and we need to figure out what will it take for us to move into this rig on a full-time basis. Hi everybody, this is David with Tigner Adventures, and this is the start of a series of videos where we are going to be working on this RV that I am in right now. It's a 38-foot Holiday Rambler Navigator. It's a 1994, and there are a few things that even before we can even move in, we need to get fixed. For example, you can see the roof right there, the ceiling is falling down. We need to kind of look into that a little bit. And some other things I'm having issues with. The tires are bad, but that's not going to stop us from moving in to it. However, and this doesn't stop us either, I shut the engine off, it keeps running. So I don't know what's going on with that. So these are all new things that we have to work out with learning how to start using a diesel pusher. So this is a diesel rig. It's a diesel pusher. The engine is in the back of the rig, and so things are just a little different. It's nice and quiet up front when you are driving along, and this thing drives like a bus. It is a 6-foot longer wheelbase than our other gas unit, and that also means that it's a 6 foot that doesn't have as much of a tail hangover as our other unit. Our other unit had a 6-foot tail swing, or at least the tail hang out another 6 foot. So the tail swing was pretty significant, and that's where when you're turning a corner, the tail swings out and can hit things. So this one doesn't have as much of an issue with that, and so that's a good thing. But there is a lot of things for us to look at, so let's get started. So I guess before we go too far, we probably should just talk about why would you want to buy used compared to new? Everyone is like, well, I don't want used because, you know, I want the things to be fixed, you know, for free if there's something wrong. And if you buy a used unit, then there's definitely going to be something wrong with it. No matter what. And if there isn't when you buy it, there will be soon, because, you know, again, these rigs are like in an earthquake constantly as you go down the road. So, you know, on this rig, the tires are supposed to run at around 110 to 120 psi in each tire. So that makes those tires pretty strong, or, you know, pretty hard. And it does have air ride suspension. It's got airbags, which does help out a lot. So that's kind of nice, but still, it's like an earthquake going down the road. So things just start coming out or falling out no matter what. And here is a very good example of what I'm talking about. You can see the screw is just slowly working its way out. And these type of ceilings are notorious for kind of start coming out of their little groove. Very easy to fix. So if you start seeing that, the thing to do is to jump right on it, because you can fix it really easy. The farther it pulls out, the harder it is to put it back in. But I'm going to show you how to fix all this stuff, and I think it's well worth buying a used unit. Now, the main reason that I think it's worth buying a used unit, and, you know, everyone's got their own opinion, but in my particular case, we pretty much do everything ourselves. I try not to have anybody do anything for us. I can talk to different people and get different ideas and things, but I have not had very good luck with any mobile mechanics or shops actually working on my rig. And so I prefer to do it myself, and that may take me a few weeks longer, a lot of studying and working it out. But if you are willing to do that, then buying used is something that can save you a lot of money. Another thing about buying used is typically there's a couple different things, especially when we're talking, well, older rigs in general are typically built better than the newer rigs. And that isn't just a speculation, that is just the honest truth. So for example, this rig is built with solid oak everything, okay? And it's getting harder and harder to find anything that is built with solid anything, solid oak, solid cherry, solid walnut, whatever. Most of it is going to be some kind of an MDF type of wood with a veneer on it, and that's not very strong, and it definitely doesn't last very long over time. So if you're going to move into a rig for full-time, I mean, if you look at our last rig, Beulah, we've been living in it full-time for 7 years. And there's people out there that say, you know, rigs aren't meant to live in full-time, and I just, whatever your opinion is, okay. But as far as I'm concerned, that is not true. We had a house that we built, and we were continually fixing things on it, and it was brand new and still having issues that we had to fix. So if we can do fixing things ourselves, then we might as well get a rig that's not going to cost us an arm and a leg, and that has got good bones. It's built very good and easy to fix different things and keep up on it if you're willing to do that. Now I've sat down and I've made a list of things that we need to do to this rig. There's basically about 22 different items. One of them, I was mentioning, the rig won't shut off when I turn the key off, and I have to kind of rev it up a few times and it'll finally shut off. I'm not sure, I don't know a lot about diesel yet, so that's something I've got to learn, but I'm going to tell you what it is once I figure it out. I have to put new antennas, so like we watch or we listen to Sirius XM a lot, and we have a special antenna we use that's got a 360-degree antenna that can pick it up no matter what direction that we're pointing. Works out very nicely, so I've got to install that. I've got to install our InstaConnect internet is what we use for all our internet needs. So I need to get that installed. So there's different things like that that are happen to be done to make the rig usable. We bought 8 solar panels. We transported those down to Yuma in our older rig that we had with us at the time, and so they are sitting here snug as a bug at the end of our bed. And then once we got down here, we moved those over into Bella. So our old unit is called Beulah, the new unit is called Bella. So we moved those solar panels into Bella, and you can see them anchored right here next to the kitchen. So it's on by the kitchen counter. And one of the things we really need to get done is to get those solar panels up on the roof so that we can have access to the kitchen and everything inside. It kind of opens it back up again. Now, as far as the solar panels are concerned, this is our roof. So there isn't much on the roof. We have gone through and put internal bond tape on all of the seams here. So all the seams are covered, and now we need to scrub this down and paint it. So we're going to paint it with a Henry silicone paint. That's what we put onto Beulah. Works very nice. It's a reflective paint, so it helps keep the rig a little cooler. And it also seals things all up too, and it's silicone, so it moves around without cracking and breaking and peeling and things like that. So we've got that to do before we can install the solar panels. Once the solar panels are on, then at least, you know, we don't need to necessarily hook them up right away, but at least they'll be out of the way and installed on the roof. So there's certain things that if we were to move this into the RV park that we probably need to have done before we go to the RV park, because RV parks don't like you doing work on your rig when you're there. But if they can't see what you're doing, then no foul, no hurt, no whatever. So you get away with it. So anyway, with that in mind, we've got some work to do. So here is the list of items that I have put together of what we need to do on the rig. And some of it is pretty simple, some of it is going to take time, and some of it is going to be darn expensive to do. But it's things that need to be done, and in our case we have to kind of look through some of this and see how much money we have available to us, and kind of work it out as we go. I always tell my friends that, you know, you don't have to do everything just because you bought a new rig. You don't have to, you know, do everything all at once. Well, the nature of things are that you really kind of want to have everything done. You want to get it back to, or at least the same as what you left. And if you do that, then it does cost a lot of money. So we have to kind of look at it a little bit and see, do we have the money to do a lot of these things? You know, there's certain things that we have to for sure do before we can really travel. And that number one thing is just getting the tires replaced. They need to be upgraded. At least a couple of them that I found were 11 years old. So a little bit old. Tread's great. It has been stored inside. So with that said, you know, the tread looks good and the sidewalls look good. And so we went ahead and took the chance of driving it down here from Wisconsin. But on a long-term basis, we don't want to take any chances that we don't have to, because once we got here in Yuma, we did find this nice little crack in the side of the sidewall. And I don't know if it's a crack or a stress thing. You know, I had a friend that had some issues with his tires that looked kind of the same way. I've got his article listed here. You can actually read about tires. He also had several people chime in on, you know, professional engineers that deal with tires every day, chime in and give a lot of good information. So it's definitely well worth reading that article about tires before you spend a lot of money on tires. But tires are a significant investment that we have to do. And you know, the bad thing about this is, as we looked at the rig, we kind of wanted to keep both of them. And the reason that we bought this one was because we wanted to have an option in case something happened to Beulah. Well, as we start looking at this, and it's like we got to do all this work on Bella to get it working. It's like, if we're going to do the work, we might as well move into Bella. There are a few things that are pretty nice about having a diesel pusher. It's a little bit longer. The layout is a little bit different, and we just have a little bit more space. And so we kind of want to move into Bella, but we don't want to get rid of Beulah, because we just put $10,000 into Beulah last year alone. And so, which, you know, I mean, over 7 years, that's the first time we really put any money into it. So we've been pretty fortunate all along anyway. But with that said, you know, we did put out $10,000 that there's no way that we're going to be able to recoup that with our rig. I mean, technically we would probably want to sell it for $15,000, and with all the brand new batteries and solar and everything else that's been done on it, I'm not sure that anybody would pay $15,000 for a 30-year-old RV. So it's really worth more to us to hold on to it and keep it in case something does happen to Bella now. So we'll probably just put Beulah in storage. Kind of thinking about just leaving it at my sister's place, and it'll be there in case we need it, because it's completely set up to be lived in. So I don't really want to tear it all apart. I want to keep it that way just in case we need it. We have it, and when we're visiting, we can always drive up there and just stay in it. So it's not the end of the world kind of thing. So anyway, so one thing that I didn't have listed on my to-do list is getting our rig licensed. So we had to take it down to the Arizona Department of Transportation. We had to have it inspected because for whatever reason, Wisconsin had it listed, the model listed as a Sporting Valencia or something like that, really close to it. I didn't write it down, but I searched on that, and that's an airplane. So I don't know, they messed up there. Someone just hit S and wasn't paying attention and entered it in there as that. So Arizona required the unit to be inspected. They had to check my VIN number and check it against what came up, because on the Arizona database, when I scheduled the inspection, it said that it was a Spartan chassis motorhome. And so on this one, they have listed it here as a Holiday Rambler is the code they put on here, which is what it is. It's a 1994 Holiday Rambler. So it's all been licensed now. And the thing we love about this, being in Yuma and doing this, we got a 5-year license for $78. Now, the next best thing to that would be to be in Montana and just get a lifetime license for about the same price probably, but we don't have a residence or a corporation or, you know, all the things they do to take out residency in Montana. So our residency here is in Yuma, Arizona. There's no inspections needed each year, whether it's smog or mechanical. They don't do that here, so that's kind of nice. And so anyway, we are now legal, and we have driven back to our storage spot and parked here, and we are ready to start doing some work. So with that said, that gives you an update as to what we're going to be doing as we go forward with this rig. We've got a whole playlist we're putting together with all the things that we're going to be doing. And so we hope that you'll come along and kind of follow us as we do this, because this is going to be pretty much my job for the next couple months, is doing these kinds of things and getting it all ready and cleaned up and showing you how we do that with an older unit and make it worth it. So anyway, I'm figuring that we'll see how we do here, but I'm figuring probably about $10,000 by the time I buy the tires, the batteries, and you know, we've already got the solar, you know, just little things like that is going to take some money. So we don't really have $10,000 hanging around, so we've got to figure out how to come up with that. And we're debt free, so I really don't want to go into debt to do this, but we'll figure out something. And so that's the plan, and we don't have to necessarily do all that at once. For example, I got to get the solar panels on the roof, but I don't necessarily need to hook them up at this point as far as living in it, because we are in an RV park. And so, you know, maybe I just need to get the batteries first and then get all the, you know, the other stuff later, things like that. So those are the things we're going to be working out as we move forward. But thanks for watching, and be prepared. There's a lot of things that are coming up as we move forward. So take care, and we'll see you down the road.